How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you with a tournament report now that I'm back in Milton Keynes. Today I went to my locals, Kempston locals, just outside of Milton Keynes, which is the locals I usually frequent when I'm not in university. I ended up taking Tidal Mermail to this event, mainly because I don't own all the Dragon Ruler stuff, so I couldn't finish it, and I didn't have my Judgment Days for Prophecy, so that's all changed now. I've managed to get one Judgment, and I'm going to be getting a second in the next couple of weeks. So I will be playing something a bit more meta next for the next event. But for this event, I played Tidal Mermail. This deck is heavily based on the deck that Jeff Jones profiled in an article he did for ARG of his Tidal Mermail deck, but I changed quite a few things depending on my player preference. So I'm going to go through the deck and show you what I played, and it will differ slightly, but a lot of the factors in it are very similar to his choices. So I played, for the starter, one Mooling Glacier. I never actually dropped this card. I drew it once. I never found myself searching it off of Dragoons, just my numbers were never right, so I don't know how I feel about this. Like, there were so many situations where I could, like, modulate my grave really well with Tidal, and if I'd drawn this, it would have been great, but I never drew it, so that was Moulin. And I sided it out a few times against certain matchups, so Moulin was okay. Then I played, for the Mermail stuff, one Abyss Lead, which I drew at least once every match. Against one of the Evil Swarm players, I opened this twice, and against the other Evil Swarm player, I opened it once. And seeing this, I saw this so often, it wasn't even funny. So that was the one lead. The 3 Abyss Megalo, these were really reliable. Resolved these so much during the day. There were so many situations, however, where I would have one Megalo, like, say, dead in hand at mine. If I had to draw one more monster to make it live, it would always be a second Megalo. So I found myself ditching Megalo off Megalo quite a lot, but it paid off in the end. And apologies for shaky cam, by the way. My tripod is still packed away from when we travelled back down from uni, so I don't know where it is at the moment, so that's why we don't have the tripod. Then I played 3 copies of Abyss. I don't regret going back to 3. I was playing 2 for a while. 3 Abyss is just the way to go. Teus is just so powerful. The ability to go into your 7 plays like there's no tomorrow. It puts in so much work. Opens you up so many options. I really enjoy using Teus. Then I played 3 Abyss Lind, because you kind of have to play 3 Lind. I actually opted to play 2 Gund, but after the amount of plays I discovered you can make with this and Tidal, I realised like how wrong I was, so I'll definitely be playing 3 Abyss Gund in future. I then played the 3 Abyss Pike, no Turge. I found myself really wanting to Turge, so I might have to find room for the Turge, but the Pikes were really good. I definitely, so a lot of the time, found myself wishing I had access to a 4th Pike. Sometimes Druidy's quite dead, but Pike was Pike. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, and now I can't pick all this up because I'm useless. Yay! I hate not having my tripod. Then for the Atlantean engine, I played 3 copies of Atlantean Dragoons because he's the best card. 3 copies of Atlantean Marksman because it's really good for OTKs and back row destruction. And then I opted to run the 3 copies of Atlantean Heavy Infantry. I just really like 3. Unless you blow stuff out of the way, really big problem monsters can just be completely removed from the board for little or no cost. So I just really like this card. It puts in so much work, and I wanted to have it against Evil Swarms, and I had it quite frequently, but it put in so much work in the other matchups. And then for the final water monsters, I played 3 copies of Deep Sea Diva, because I still really like Diva. Jeff Jones played 2. I still really like 3. I like to have the OTK as much as I can. And sorry, I lied, that isn't even the last water monster, because I forgot, I have this engine. I then played 3 Tidal Dragon Ruler Waterfalls. This card opens up so many options for the deck. It opens up an extra level 7 that it can summon for basically free, because your graveyard is almost always stocked with this deck, especially with the amount of waters you play. And also, it is able to trigger off the effects of Atlanteans and Mermail Viscount when it sends itself and one other water monster from hand to the graveyard to send a guy from deck to the graveyard. And one of the best plays I made all day was plays where I could have Tidal and Gund in hand, and just like turn 1, go Tidal, ditching Gund, and you could ditch any Mermail from your deck and then immediately special summon it with Gund. So that play in and of itself was so damn good. They played 2 Stream, like Tidal, these trigger off the effects of Atlanteans and Gund, so just complements the whole deck. And then I played 2 Effect Veiler in main deck. Jeff Jones played 3, but I felt that 2 was the better number because I was going into a locals environment, and I felt there was going to be less meta and more kind of different things, so I thought that the Veilers might end up being a bit dead. Either way, that is the monster lineup. That is, I believe, 35 monsters. Then I play 3 spells and 3 traps. The 3 spells are the Trinity of Reborn, Dark Hole, Storm, and that is literally all the spells I played. And then the traps were simply 3 copies of Abyss Sphere, because Abyss Sphere is the best trap you can play. And I didn't really feel the need for Breakthrough Skill. Then the extra deck is fairly standard. It plays some kind of nice stuff, and there were some mistakes in me building it. I built this at like midnight last night, so there were some kind of changes that should be made. Played the 1 arm realm. This was like MVP synchro of the day. I made this so many times to get over Ophions and just different plays. So good, so good. The 1 Catastor, the 1 Librarian, the Dularan, which I made quite a few times. The Black Rose Dragon, which I used against an opponent's 9 cards on board. He had, if you count tokens, he had 5 monsters and 4 back row, and I managed to Black Rose it all, and it was really, really nice. Then 1 Scrap Dragon, and 1 Crimson Blader for the mirror match, and for E-Dragons. And I played the E-Dragons and I played the mirror match, and I never made this. I never had the opportunity to make it. So that's the synchros. For the Xyzes, the 1 Zen Mains, the 1 Abyss Trite, the 1 Bahamut Shark, which I made a lot. This was so good today. The Abyss Dweller, I never used it for its actual effect. Against E-Dragons I used its actual effect, but I used it to make my entire board bigger to try and go for OTK pushes, so Abyss Dweller was good. And it made Gaios bigger, so you could negate more things. I then played 1 Gaios. I should have been playing 2, but I forgot to add in my second one this morning, so I was playing 1. I played the 1 Big Eye because I only own 1, and then I played 2 copies of Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac. And this put in so much work. I ended up needing 2 so often. So this card was MVP Xyz. And then of course the 2 tokens for said Dracosac. The side was really, really weird. It was basically just stuff I had in boxes, and I built a side in the morning, and it's kind of what I rolled with. So the side I played was the 3rd Veiler, because I like having the Veiler against matchups it's good against, but against other matchups it's just absolutely appalling, so I didn't want to have it in bad matchups, so the 3rd Veiler was in the side. I then played 3 copies of Max C in the side deck. Max C is just so good. Against the E-Dragon matchup and against the Mermail matchup, this card puts in work, and it single-handedly won me both those matchups. I then played 2 Droll and Lockbirds for Prophecy, long story short. There were no Prophecy players at my locals, but that's mainly because the 1 Prophecy player was at a wedding, but he will return next week, so Droll and Lockbirds will be going straight back in. I then played the 3 MST in the side, the 2 Debunk, because I still really like Debunk, and I played against the Mirror, so the Debunk was great. Then I played double Imperial Iron Wall, which put in so much work against E-Dragons, and against like Evil Swarm and things like that, just siding into removal. Just Iron Walls were so good. The 1 Dust Tornado, and I played 1 Eradicate Epidemic Virus because I could use Big Eye, and again, if I played against Prophecy, this would be well worth sacking a Big Eye. So, yeah, that was the entire deck profile. To talk about my rounds, I really don't like playing against a deck called Chainbeat, which is basically loads of chainable spell traps, compulsory ejection device, and Blackguard, and just bears and rabbits and thunderbirds, and it's just horrible to get around with any deck you play. And I played against 2. I played 1 round 1. Oh, I don't like it. I played one round 1, which I ended up 2-0ing, but that's simply because I've actually had practice against the deck. I really don't enjoy playing against it. Round 2, I ended up playing against the Mermail mirror match, and I ended up 2-1ing that matchup through just having the Max C when I needed it. Round 3, I ended up playing against E-Dragons, and I ended up going 2-1 against that, but it was against the TO for the event, who was quite experienced with that, because he literally just built it. So I feel that I don't think he really misplayed, but I guess maybe next time when he's far more experienced with it, not to knock you, Jason, when he's far more experienced with it, it'll be a much quicker game, because it went on for quite a while. Round 4, I ended up playing against another Chainbeat player who ended up beating me 2-1 because he just had every out he needed. He always had the Black Garden after I MST'd it, and he had the Soul Drains for me, so he had his outs, and I feel there was nothing I could do. Then I played against another Evil Swarm player in the form of Cupcakey21, who would have actually beaten me, but because I was the last XO player to lose, because we were quite,
I did actually beat you.
Yeah, she did beat me in the game. But because I was the last XO player to lose, my tiebreakers were still the best, and we are now doing a summer league. and every win in every tournament you're ever in counts towards you. So we both evaluate that I was probably the more consistent player, so Cupcakey was merciful and allowed me to have the win to play on, and I did end up coming first in the end, winning out in the final round against another Evil Swarm player. So I ended up playing against 2 Evil Swarm decks and lost to one and beat one other. But I hate playing against Evil Swarm with this deck because sometimes you just get locked down if you can't find your marks, your heavy infantries. You will lose. But either way, that was the event. I ended up going, for the record, 5-1, but I should have gone 4-2. But overall, I'm really happy with the way this deck performs, but it's going to be retiring to the binder for now, I believe, because I'm going to be playing Prophecy. Because I really like the way Prophecy works. Mermails are still a real favourite for me. I really love this deck, but sadly it does have to take its time to retire. But otherwise, yeah, that has been Jamie the Kid 00 with the first tournament of the Summer League for Kempston and my latest tournament diary. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and also as an explanation for those of you who are wondering where I've been, I've just been really busy kind of unpacking and relaxing now that I'm back at home. I do intend to be recording some more segments during the week, so please stay tuned for those, and apologies for my absence, and I will see you guys very soon. This has been Jamie the Kid 00. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.